Yo, 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 yo. What's happening, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah. Welcome to another morning motivation. Your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm thrilled to have you join me this morning as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. So whether you're here to seek motivation, connect with like-minded individuals, or simply get your day started on the right foot, you've come to the right place. And on your way in the door, go ahead and hit that like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend that morning motivation is on the air. And if you so inclined, top of the chat, you'll see, buy your boy a cup of coffee. Much appreciated if you do. Shout out to that chick, yo, D-Rob, salute. Auntie Canada in the building, yes. Another feel-good Friday, Health Talk, what's good, sir? How are you? Yep. Ah, man. I am so ready for this break. Oh, man, I am so ready. For this break. You know, sometimes in life when you have so many moving pieces and you have these goals and you have these expectations and these dreams, it seems like it takes forever for the good stuff to happen, for the realizations of it. And sometimes it takes a long time, depending upon how lofty your goal is or your idea of what an ideal life should look like for you. It takes a long time. And I've given you guys my backstory. But sometimes you gotta replay the oldies. You gotta replay the goodies because you need that. That was your journey. That was your piece of clarity. Because Steve Jobs did a commencement address not too long before his passing. And I want to play a little bit of that this morning to get us started. It's a short clip, about a 4-minute clip. But I want to play a little bit of it this morning just to get us started because it's really going to be critical for today's show, but also just for everyday application, everyday life. If I can find it. There we go. All right, here we go.
I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife. Except that when I popped out, they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents, who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night asking, "We've got an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him?" They said, "Of course." My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all of the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country.
Just want to stop it right there just for a minute. And I want to key in on something that he said. His backstory, he glazed over that. You know, his parents gave him up because they wanted a girl. But they gave him the parents that said that they would make sure he went to college because that was important for them. And they went through all of that stuff, and then his upbringing and all the stresses and the fears and the disappointments and all the stuff that he had to endure that he didn't even mention. But also him going to college, and it was a stipulation, but him deciding, I might drop off for 1 second. No, I'm gonna stay where I am. He decided that he didn't want to do that anymore because he wasn't interested. So he dropped out. And he started doing the things that really interested him. But pay close attention. He slept on friends' couches. He returned bottles for the recycle. Y'all remember what that, well, let me see. He returned once upon a time, you could take I'm showing my age now, some of you might remember this, but you could take the cans and you crush the cans, step on them, crush them, throw them in a bag, a trash bag. You would take the bottles, put the bottles in another trash can. You would put them in, I had a little wagon, and sometimes if my dad was around, I would throw them on the back of his truck and get him to take me to the recycle center. And they would give you 5 cents a bottle and like 2 cents a can or something like that. And so you go through the neighborhood collecting cans from either from people's trashes or you have them save them for you. Recycling has always been a thing. So it's money in the materials. And I would do that. So I know when he's talking about, can anybody relate to that? Did anybody used to collect them bottles and those cans and go to the recycle center? Pep Talk said, I definitely used to collect those cans. Monique says soda bottles get money, 5 cents. Said Dad did cans also. Yep. Said 5 at the country store. Yeah. And so this generation know nothing about that. We just throw it all in the recycle bin and they come pick it up. What up, Mo? Health Talk says some moves take years to make. That's why patience is a virtue for sure. D-Rob says, is that ideal life in your head? Usually not the life waiting on you. That makes total sense. Because we have to do something to get it out of our heads. We have to do something to get it out of our heads. And the ideal life is there, but it don't just happen because we want it or we just kind of want it. And now somebody like Steve Jobs, he did not have an idea what he wanted to do with his life. He just knew he was following a plan. And as he's following his plan, he makes an executive decision. I am not interested in this. This is not what I want to do. So I'm going to let this go. Yes, I know I'm going to be homeless because I'm out here blowing in the wind right now. not doing what I was supposed to do, not doing what the plan was for me to do. And I'm sure he didn't tell his parents immediately, it just happened. What we're about to go into now in this last part of this video, he's talking about when he started doing the things he wanted to do. He was already walking 7 miles to get one good meal a week from the Hare Krishna temple. He was returning, because back then, man, you could get, the 99-cent menu, most of us remember. But Wendy's had the 4 for $4, get you four day, burgers, fries, drink, whatever. You get your whole meal for $4. And this was this was 2000. So you can imagine in the 80s, the early 80s, you could have got, $2 would have got you a meal. So he didn't have to, he wasn't out there doing, hard labor getting them cans and bottles, because you get 10 bottles, you got you $1. That dollar would at least put a little food on your stomach. But anyway, now he's about to go into where he dropped into life.
Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture, and I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
Boom. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. That is probably one of my favorite quotes, simply because I've lived long enough now that I can actually connect the dots when I look back. Steve Jobs, he said 10 years later, I'm not sure how many of y'all caught that, but 10 years later, after taking that calligraphy class, he was able to use that skill into the first Macintosh computer. D-Rob says McDonald's and Taco Bell don't have 99-cent menus no more. Nah, things have changed, man. Hair Talk said God doesn't waste anything on our journey. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah, everything. I think back, man, and I talk about my freshman year of high school. That was the year so many new things happened in my life. It was my first time I had to go out and prove myself in sports. It was the first time I was actively pursuing romantic relationships. Shout out to romantic relationships. It was the first time I had to put my foot in the sand and stand on my square and decide the kind of person I would be. He said, trust in karma. Trust the signs and those gut feelings. Love that. Yeah. You have to believe that what you're going through is going to amount to something. You have to believe that the idea in your mind is going to come to fruition. But here's the thing. Most of us get stopped, or we stop because of the how. We don't know how something is going to work out. And because we can't connect those dots as we look forward, we take a step back, we make additional plans, we create side routes, and we start going somewhere else. And then that takes us further and further and further away from the path. But if you have that faith that all things work together for the good to those that love him and are called according to his purpose, you know he knows the dreams and desires that he has in you, he's put in your heart. You're walking it out. You're experiencing it. D-Rob said, JG, you've been right on time lately. Shout out to me for being on time. You have a group interview today. Oh, I have a group interview today to become a sub school. Oh, for the school you coaching at. Very nervous, but keep it in my head. Be yourself. There you go. Shout out to D-Rob. Look at that, boy. I'm telling you, man. The more proactive you are about your life, the more doors will open. The more risk you are willing to take, the higher the rewards you're going to receive, the shorter the process. You have to believe that all things are working for your good. You have to truly believe that it's all going to come together, even if you can't see it. It's all coming together. And every day you're taking a step toward what you want. Knowing that obstacles are going to come. Knowing that obstacles, the setbacks, the insecurities, the doubts, they're all coming. But they're not coming to stay. They're coming to create you to be the person that you need to be. You can do it. But that's good stuff, D-Rob, man. That's good stuff. That's what it's about. You're taking a risk, you're stepping out there, and you're watching the road, the path unfold right before you. You're watching it all unfold right before you. And so if y'all will indulge me for a few minutes, I want to go back down memory lane. I want to go back to when I first stepped on campus. I want to go back to when I first, quote unquote, fell in love. I want to go back to when I started creating my family. And I don't mean my children. I just started creating children in freshman year. But I started deciding the people that I would have in my circle, that I would consider my brothers. The young ladies that I would talk to, that I would consider wifey material. Health Talk said, D, remember your steps are ordered. This is part of your process. Step into your greatness with Black excellence. Yes, sir, with Black excellence. As most of you know already, your boy is not the tallest, not the fastest. And so trying to become a freshman to make the varsity squad when everybody on the varsity squad is, they're athletes, they've been proven. They're more experienced. They came through a time when there was junior high, meaning they still played, at a high level in ninth grade, but they was in the quote unquote middle school range. They didn't go to high school until they were sophomores. So they had already built their confidence. They had already started playing with the big boys. And then when I came along, we were still little kids going into ninth grade, still playing little small teams. And nobody honestly believed in me. Because in middle school, you don't really prove yourself in middle school. Nobody really sees you play. Nobody really sees what you do. And so this perfect storm happened. I'm in summer workouts. I'm in the gym. Me and my guy Rob. And Rob got me benching 275 as an incoming freshman. So I'm throwing that iron up. I'm running. I'm literally walking miles. Because I'm not great. Ain't got no car. My parents were at work. It wasn't a spare car laying around. But I'm putting in this work every day. And so I make this varsity squad, the only freshman to make it that year. And in my mind, it's gonna be sweet. But it wasn't. Because I'm still a freshman. And yes, I had what it took to get on that squad, but I wasn't proven yet. So I did a lot of riding the pine. I sat on the bench a lot the first half of that year. A lot. And I thought the coach was treating me unfair. My other friends or my compadres were on JV, but they were playing every week. And I would go to their games and, I had to respect because I made varsity, but I wasn't playing. And why is this happening, man? I'm supposed to be playing. I'm supposed to be getting some playing time. Man, I want to just let me go to JV. Let me go to JV. Coach is like, shut up. Go sit on that bench. Let Patience have her perfect work. And that was just in the sports. And then I met a young lady, captain of the cheerleading squad. Beautiful. I popped my collars. I talked my stuff. Eventually, she warmed up to your boy. I got a number. We talking back and forth. Things are going good. And then sabotage happens. Sabotage happens. And there's a freshman worth the headache of whether this is a lie or not. No, so she disappears. She falls away. I'm trying to hang on to some friends that I knew they weren't really my friend. They were just people that I got in mischief with. I'm trying to hang on to these group of guys because in my mind, they're the cool guys. They were smoking a little tweed at the bus stop waiting on the bus to pick them up. They was getting into the fights. They was doing the things that, brought attention to them. She ghosted. She did it respectfully though. She was like, look, I'm about to graduate. I don't have time for these high school games anymore. So I think you're a sweet guy. I really like you. If you were a little bit older, if times were different, maybe, but right now I don't have time for this drama in my life. So respectfully, she stepped to the side. And I'm fighting for these friends who I'm perpetually getting in trouble with. But it's these other group of friends that I'm in class with, and they cool, they smart, they about their books, they about having a good time, but good, clean, wholesome good times, mostly. And it's like everything that I was running toward was running away from me. And I couldn't figure out why it was taking so long to... He said, yo, sir, she just moonwalked from you. Yeah, she pull her hat down and she just hit that moonwalk on you, boy. And so, trying to get away from what you would call the boring kids, I couldn't see back then that the fast life, that sometimes D-Rob, that's D-Rob my guy, y'all. I think D-Rob my spirit animal for sure. I be thinking certain things, but I can't say everything I think. But D-Rob knows just when to fill in the blanks. So she moonwalks away from me. My father moved me away from my preferred friends. And I'm sitting around here with all these nice guys and non-fast women. It's the best way to say it. Non-fast women. It's all good, D-Rob, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for your contributions. And then the weirdest thing happened. I was going up the hall, minding my own business, and I saw a crowd of kids rushing toward this area. And y'all know what that means. Fight. It's an actual fight happening. So I speed up, I run them, and I see, and I'm watching this girl get the brakes beat off of her. I'm watching this girl getting the black literally beat off of her. And they both was light skinned. So it was just like when the fight was over, one was a little darker than the other, if you know what I mean. And she was a bundle of, this girl slid her up she beat her up under the water fountain. I mean, it was not an equal fight. And everybody's walking by looking at the girl because her shirt was ripped, so she had a boob or two that was hanging out. The other girl's shirt was ripped, but she was a little bit more well endowed, so she was trying to put it all back in her arms and everything. And so people was, celebrating her and everything. And, good job, yeah, you whooped that, And I'm just watching the crowd walk off, celebrating the champ. And then a couple of people were saying, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." But they will keep walking. So your boy, I've always been somewhat of a gentleman. So y'all know what I did. I took off my little, was it a jacket or a shirt? I think it was just a jacket. Might have been a hoodie. I'm not sure. But I took it off and I gave it to the girl who was up under the water fountain, almost chest naked. And I walked out to the front. I walked to the office. And the nurse kind of, scraped, finished, wiped her face and all that stuff and made sure, saying she was good. And then I went on about my business. Said, D-Man, you need to brand your phases. Yeah. Oh, phrases. Got you. Yeah. He got something, don't he? Yeah, so I was being a gentleman, I helped this young lady out. And couldn't find out she was a senior also. She wasn't having a good senior year. What up, Craig G? She was not having a good senior year. And she was grateful that somebody helped her out. Some strong, and I was really strong. Some strong, strapping young man helped her out in her moment of weakness. She was grateful. So she taught your boy some things. She taught your boy a few lessons. And I thought that was it. I thought this must be the one. She must be the one, y'all. Because she taught me lessons that I only seen on TV. I'd only seen these lessons on TV and in certain magazines. She taught me things. And I was grateful. She was grateful. I was grateful. It was a grateful time. What up, Marquis? Man, don't come here starting with me, bro. Don't come here starting with me, guy. I'm going somewhere with this. I promise you, I'm going somewhere with this. Talk about, man. Look, okay, it's all coming together. You just can't see how it's gonna fit yet. That's the show's title, and we using the book of Jobs. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. And so I'm talking about my life. And in my life, I always wanted love. I always wanted respect. I always wanted to feel like I mattered, that I belonged somewhere, that I was welcomed, that I was valued. And so everything in my life this freshman year of high school now, this is when it started for me. This is when I started deciding that I wanted a thing. I wanted to be who I was going to let in. And it started with this football team, making this varsity squad. Then it started with the captain, then it's the captain of the cheerleading squad. Then she moonwalked out of my life because there was some other drama happening. And then there was this other young lady who was a senior as well. Not as cute, but still pretty cute. She was like, well, she would have been the opposite. She was like she wasn't really a nerd. She was just one of those girls who just around. She didn't make a lot of noise. She was cute, just, plain face, out the shower, just cute. But, not like exceptional. She was slightly above average, I would say. And she was her senior year. She didn't have a whole lot of friends. She didn't have lofty goals or ideals or dreams or whatever. She just, trying to figure it out. But she was about 3 years older than me, 4 years older than me. And she had some lessons to teach you boys. So I'm just talking about that. Because in my mind, she values me. I'm contributing something to her life that makes her want to bless your boy. But right on cue, she moonwalked out of my life too. She moonwalked out of my life too. Heartbroken. Because it wasn't my first, romantic encounter. But it was like the first real one. When it was just like we had the space and the time and the opportunity to truly enjoy and it wasn't high and go get it kind of thing. It was it wasn't a little, okay, this is more than motivation, y'all. Well, y'all get what I'm saying. I thought I had found what I was looking for 3 times now, all in my freshman year of high school, and none of it panned out. The thing that I wanted, the goals that I had set, none of it stuck. Now, I accomplished, but it didn't stick. And now I'm wandering around again, trying to figure out, what am I going to do? What do I like? What do I want? Who do I want in my life? All these questions, all these uncertainties. So now, for you, Markeith, I'm going to speed it up now. Let's come to present day. Present day. My friends are goated. Those same friends I was trying to get away from, we've been friends for 40 years. We've been friends for 40 years. Well, not 40 years, 35 years at least. They were my day one friends. I read you the message that one of my homeboys sent me on Father's Day, and how he watched me overcome the struggles and how proud of me he was. We got history. I never thought this group of friends was going to be my brothers. I thought I had to suffer through this period of my life with people that I didn't want to be around, but the ones that I almost rejected became the ones that I needed the most. Because you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only do it backwards. Those young ladies, none of them stuck. And it was many more after that that did not stick. That did not stick. for one reason or the other. But I had to learn some lessons. I had to grow because I truly didn't know what I wanted. I kind of had an idea. I was looking for something superficial. I was looking for a feeling. And it's weird when you're dealing with people because y'all can want the same thing, but y'all perspectives can be totally different. Meaning now y'all come together and now it's conflicts in the relationship. Conflicts in a relationship because you guys want the same thing, but you believe it should be done different ways. So now there's a whole nother skill of learning. And so now today I'm in a relationship and I got everything that I wanted. But I had to go through some stuff to get here. I had to go through some stuff. And I also understand that this is a volunteer assignment. She volunteered to be on this mission with me. I volunteered to be on this mission with her. She not guaranteed to stay. She has to choose that. And in order for her to choose that, in order for me to choose to stay, we both have to make up in our minds that I must be the best version of myself. I must make sure that I'm providing value to this relationship. In my terms, I must be willing to serve more than I am being served. Because that's what leadership is. D says circle been small for years. That's how it is, D-Rob. The people that knew you before you became coach. The people that's not afraid to tell you the truth about yourself. The people that's not afraid to pull your coattail, tell you, hey, bro, you might want to sit your butt down. You're doing a little too much. The people that can get mad with you, fist fight you, and dare somebody else to mention your name wrong. Yeah. And so I wanted friendship and brotherhood. I got that. And I'm meeting new brothers every day. Why? Because I have become the person that attracts what I am. And so when people come into my life and they stick, I don't have to vet them as hard because I already know I'm only going to attract what I am. Now, I still got to learn how to deal with that person, but I'm only going to attract what I am. That's the friendship. Now we're talking love. I attracted the girl of my dreams, in a sense. Actually, not in a sense. The girl of my dreams. Y'all know how y'all say, okay, the person of my dreams looks like this, they do this, they act like this, right? I attracted all of that, right? So be careful what you ask for. Because they're people. And yes, they may be all of those things you asked for, but they had to become that too, which means they have some trauma. They have some scars. They have some things that they still have to work through. D, we graduated high school in 1995, bro. I believe that was the year you was born. Bro, I believe that was the year you was born. This next year, it'll be our 30th class reunion, bro. I keep telling you, bro, you the young gun. Oh, it's all good, bro. I'm telling you. I don't look like what I've been through. Career. 94. Yeah, man. 94, I was riding around listening to Wu-Tang. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all. Yes, sir. And so today, because today's going to be the last show we do for a while, but I really wanted to I really wanted to go into a space, and I thought about doing some other stuff, but it didn't feel right to me when I was doing it. I was struggling doing it, but the thing that was resonating on my heart, and maybe this is, not just a D-Rob thing, but maybe is more needed than I realized. Because at first I'm thinking, okay, well, I think I've done something like that, but I know so many of us are out here. 94, I wasn't thought of yet. Okay, wait. Maybe Markeith is the young gun now. Yes, sir. Man, I was at 94. I was 18. Yeah, 18. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Um, yeah, I know many of us are out here and we trying to figure it out. We have these dreams of things that we want to do. And it's scary because there's risk involved. We have to change something. We have to let go of one thing to go to the next thing. And it's a tough proposition. And then we're in mid stride and it's don't seem like it's going right. 96 was a good year, Marquis. That's my first year in the military as a grown man. 19 years old with money in my pocket. Oh, 20 with money in my pocket. I was a dangerous man. And we want to stop. We want to give up. We want to quit sometimes. And sometimes we do. We just call it taking a break. And we're going to get back. But then that break turns into a long break. And now we lose all momentum. We lose the sometimes even the courage to even try again. And then we look back on our lives and we realize that, man, I wasted so much time. What could I have done by now had I not? Oh, I've told you. What could I have done by now had I not stopped? Put a one in the chat if you've ever said that to yourself. Put a one in the chat if you've ever said to yourself, man, how far would I have been had I not stopped? How much would I have gotten done had I just stayed the course? Had I kept doing what I was doing? Yeah. You see, it's literally all coming together. The path, the how is not our business. The how is not our concern. The how is God's concern. The how is God's concern. Our task is to be on point, to be on purpose. It's to have the dream, to figure out the steps, and to execute. If something don't work, keep going. Don't stop. Don't take a break. Keep going. Because it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. It's going to come together. But when you first start on this path, it's going to take time. Because you have to become the person. I know y'all get tired of hearing me say this. But you have to become the person that is deserving of the results that you want. Let's face it. Nobody dreams about something they already have. Health Talk says, honestly, I'm so glad some things didn't happen when I wanted them to happen. Woo! Tell me about it. I truly wasn't ready. The creator's timing is impeccable. Bro, because if I could have got everything I wanted, I'd be in a bad way right now. Oh, I'd be in a bad way. Because I would have connected with some people that didn't mean no good for me. I'd have been in a career field that I'd have been miserable and stuck in. So the journey, the process is necessary. You know what? Y'all remember the Bible story about Joseph. I'm about to say David, but Joseph. Joseph being sold into slavery by his brothers. Because did anybody remember why he was sold into slavery by his brothers? I mean, that's a weird phrase, right? Sold into slavery by his brothers. Do anybody remember why? Monique says, I definitely wasn't mature enough. Yeah, Monique, you probably be married to Casey from Jodeci right now. Or JoJo, which one? Oh, Auntie Canada said, I've been pushing myself to finish my book. I've been disciplining myself. No TV, no calls, no distractions. During my time frame of writing, I'm on a mission. This time around with a different strategy. I like it. I like it. D-Rob said, crazy story. If I didn't get the opportunity to go to coach in Florida, I was about to quit my job and get my CDL, but my uncle called me at the perfect time. It was a weird feeling. Bruh, I'm telling you, life is so fickle. Life is funny like that. If I don't do this, then I'm going to do this. And sometimes that doing that, it takes us off the path. Months, sometimes years. Oh, I see Monique move the message. I guess she coming back with it. I mean, because, you know, when I was out there wanting, y'all know who I wanted? Who my crush was? Jada Pinkett. Peaches herself. I was like, Father God, if you could just put Peaches in my path. Oh, she would have tore my black behind up, boy. She would have tore my heart all to pieces. His brothers were jealous of him because their father favored him. Facts. But it was all part of the process. It created relationships he needed to become who God called him to be. Oh, me. Okay, Nia Long. No, bro. Back then, Nia Long was fine. Don't get me wrong. Nia Long was fine back then. But it was something about that Jada. Nia Long was she was second on my list. Jada was number one on my list. So Joseph had this dream. And I don't remember all the specific details of the dream, but in that dream, his brothers and father, they all bowed down to him. They bowed down to him. Now, he was not the first born son. He wasn't entitled to the birthright. It was, oh, Hell Talk said it was Kenya Moore. I did, Mo. Kenya Moore. I'm so glad we didn't cross paths. She's not my type now. But that's life, man. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. We all have dreams. We all have these things that we want to accomplish. But when we don't see it working out in this space, we shift gears and go do something different. And it takes us here. You ever got off the highway on the wrong exit and you just can't go across and get back on? Now you have to go down, come back around, go other side, and then go around again to get back where you was going? Or you following the GPS, but you're not really following the GPS, and you take one wrong turn, it takes you 3 different turns to get back to where you want it. That's life. And Joseph, yeah, his father had made him this coat because he favored him. He was the son of his favorite wife, I guess. He made him this beautiful coat. He went out showing her, hey, look, bruh, look what Pop got me. They're looking like, well, Pop ain't never made me nothing like that. Then he gonna have a dream. Oh, now we bowing down to you? 11 minutes to 25 for sure. oh, since you got dreams, I got you, buddy. So they took him, they stripped his coat off of him, they threw him in a pit to die. They slaughtered a lamb, doused it in blood, and took it back to his daddy and said, hey, Joseph was torn up by an animal. He's dead. And they watched their daddy collapse and cry over this son. They was like, psh. But guess what? They had an even better idea. He said, you know what? We could actually make some money if we just sell them into slavery. We can make some money if we sell them into slavery. So they did. And somehow or another, Joseph ends up in Egypt, in slavery, in this man called Potiphar's house. There for years. But Joseph was wise. Joseph had learned from his dad. And he was able to help Potiphar manage his household because he had multiple servants. And he was developing into a man because he was a boy when they sold him. He's now becoming a man. His voice is getting deeper. He's developing his confidence. His shoulders are getting broader. And then guess what happened? Potiphar's wife. Potiphar's wife said, boy, you looking good. My husband won't be home no time soon. Why don't you come over here and help me with the dishes? Help me with the laundry. Matter of fact, I'm going to stick my head in the dryer to get the clothes out, and I want you to stand behind me, and I'm going to pass them to you, and then you could fold them. Shout out to this version of Bible reading. And Joseph said, no, ma'am. Potiphar has trusted me with all that he has, except you. Except you. No, ma'am. I'm not going to do my boy like that. It's not going to happen. So she didn't like the fact that he had rejected her. Loose women. Shout out to the loose women. So Potiphar came home and she's crying, baby, you never guess what happened today. Yo, boy Joseph, he tried to take my goodies. He wanted all your cookies, baby. He wanted all your cookies. So what y'all think Potiphar did? Potiphar said, I can't believe you. Should have never gave you money. So Potiphar sent him to jail. Now here's Joseph. Beloved by his father, hated by his brothers, sold into slavery, sold to Potiphar, restored some pride in his life, some confidence, gave him a good job, and then the goodies, yep, her goodies, and now he finds himself in jail. They didn't have that DS heifer spray. They had a heifer spray back in those days, huh? So now he's sitting in jail. And he's in jail for a while. And then, say it be your own people, right? He in jail for a while. And then one day, he meets the chef, the king chef. While he was in jail, I don't know. I guess he burnt the toast one too many times, so the king put him in jail. And he had this dream. And he told Joseph about it. And Joseph interpreted it. He said, oh man, this dream basically means this, it means that. And it comes out that, hey, yep, the dream was true. The man got out of jail and everything. But Joseph's still in jail. And quite honestly, Potiphar knew Joseph didn't do those things, which is why he didn't kill him. But he got to appease his wife. He has to preserve her honor. What little there is, he has to preserve that. So that's why Joseph ended up in jail and not dead. And then, lo and behold, some time later, He tried to poison the wife. That cook Pharaoh is having some dreams. And they bring calling all the wise men around, all the sages, to interpret the dream. And it's a scary dream if you're in leadership. The dream was about, the land was beautiful, green and lush, and the cows were out there, the heifers was out there, they was grazing, and there's plenty of grain and the meat, and everything was amazing. And then these little skinny heifers came out the river. Oh man, see, Monique, you always jumping ahead of me, girl. See, slow down, slow down. These skinny heifers came out the water and they ate up the fat ones. And this dream disturbed Pharaoh, but nobody could tell him what it meant. And then the chef said, well, when I was in prison, it was a man in there, and he interpreted all the dreams, and they came true. So Pharaoh sent for him. Joseph goes, and he tells him the dream, and Joseph interprets it. He didn't have to go back and do nothing. He just thought about it and said the fat cows means the 7 fat cows is the 7 years of plenty, and the 7 skinny cows are the 7 years of famine, and it's going to destroy. There's going to be famine in the land for 7 years. Hey man, them skinny heifers, man, they ate them fat heifers up. And Pharaoh said, well, if you had to, you good. I like that. If you had to, what would you do to, avoid this? And Joseph laid out the plan. And Pharaoh liked it and said, you know what? I like you. Let me talk to Potiphar. Potiphar, hey, he's a great guy. I think my wife was lying anyway, but, he would never, I don't think he would ever do that. He's a wise guy. He comes from good stock, the whole story. So Pharaoh promotes him. And then just like that, Joseph put about 20% of all the stuff up. A 20% tax went out. And so then the famine hit. The whole land is barren and hungry. Joseph, the second most powerful person in the whole country, came in as a slave. And let me go back to what Monique said. Your own people, D, they just don't know they help God bless you even more. Just smile and pray. When Joseph's brothers came, he played a trick on them, but I ain't gonna tell you what the trick is. I'll let y'all go read the trick. Read the trick. But when they came, they didn't recognize Joseph, obviously, but Joseph recognized them. So he inquired about them. He called them spies, tried to set them up on some stuff. Technically, it wasn't a setup. But once it was revealed that he was Joseph, they felt horrible, of course. And Joseph was like, wait a minute. What you meant for evil, God meant it for the good. So I forgive you. Everything that I went through had to happen for that dream that I had, the one that angered y'all so bad. Y'all having to bow to me? Now look at you. Bow. Go ahead, Cooley. Kiss my sandals. Bow. Everything that Joseph had to endure. When people come into your life and they do you wrong, they meant it for bad, but God means it for good. Because it's making you into the person you need to be. It's helping you become the person you need to be. So that's why these hard times are coming. That's why these people, you can't seem to get along with these people. That's why there's so many distractions. Because you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. So whatever you're going through, just know that all things work together for the good. Be blessed, Health Talk, bro. You have a great weekend too, my guy. Shout out to you. Everything that you're going through is taking you somewhere. It's preparing you for something. And I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard. I know you don't see it. But you have to decide that I'm walking through this thing with my head held high. I'm walking through this thing knowing that on the other side, I'm going to be more prepared. I'm going to be better equipped for what's to come. This is a temporary thing that I have to go through to get to where I'm going. That's the mindset that we need to have as we navigate our lives. Don't begrudge the things that's happening to us. Don't begrudge the things that we don't quite understand. Because there's a plan, and it's getting you where you're supposed to go. And when people misuse you, abuse you, take you for granted, or simply just mean-spirited towards you, you can't concern yourself with why they're doing it. Why doesn't matter. The how doesn't matter. That's God's business. You just got to keep going regardless. You got to keep going regardless. And as we're getting ready to close out, man, I want to just read some lyrics to you. Now, this is not one of my favorite songs, but it's one of my more inspirational songs. And I want to read these lyrics. I want to see if y'all know exactly what it is before I get to the chorus. I'm going to try not to sing it, but it's one of those songs that whenever I'm down, it's on the playlist. And when I hit shuffle, wherever it comes up, I'm always happy to hear it. It's not a traditional genre song that I would normally listen to, but the words are powerful. Here they go. I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sat quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound like thunder, gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. Did anybody know what that is? Any clue? What's good, Kay? She came in. Roar, Katy Perry. I guess I should have known Kay was gonna get that one. Yeah, I've got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire, cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Psh, that song is classic. That song is goated, yo. I'm telling you. If you going through something, you nervous and you not sure how it's gonna work out, put that joke on. Katy Perry be doing that thing. Oh man, but don't tell the hood I listen to Katy Perry like that though. But you know it's all good. Yeah, bro, that's a fire song, and I play it whenever I need a little extra motivation. Okay, so I sing that when I feel oppressed. Dang. Okay. So when she feel oppressed. I used to bite my tongue. No, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna even do it. I ain't gonna do it. Oh. Nah, D-Rob, I wasn't gonna sing that one. Nah, definitely won't go sing that one. You know, generally my go-to would be a Kurt Franklin classic, you know. Quite a few Kurt Franklin songs. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, this is gonna be the last show for a couple of weeks. I'll be back probably mid-July. We're doing a lot of family stuff. However, you know, we do post in the Facebook group when we're traveling. So I will be doing posting in the Facebook group, and it's Facebook. It's Morning Motivation on Facebook as well. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on in my life, and there's a lot of changes that's happening, and I want to reformat the show just a little bit. So it's going to be some much needed time. I won't have time to do it all while I'm gone, but I'll plan while I'm gone. And when I get back, we'll start making some changes and implementing some different things. Oh man. So yeah, I'm excited for what's happening. And I know that, you know, things may not look a certain way in the moment when we're going through it. But I will say this. If you hold on and you keep striving, you'll be able to connect the dots later, and it will make sense. You'll see why you had to endure so much. You'll see why you had to go through so many obstacles and hurdles. It'll all make sense, but you have to stay the course. You'll realize that everything that you wanted, every dream, every goal that you've set, there's a price that has to be paid for all of it. And there's things we have to go through to become the person worthy of those goals, those dreams, those ideals. For Joseph, it was betrayal, it was servitude, disappointment, heartbreak, but his dream came true. For me, it was a lot of the same things. Disappointment, heartbreak, worry, discouragement. And today, I am the happiest I've ever been. I feel as complete as I've ever felt. And I'm not just, everything isn't sunshine and rainbows. Life is still happening. This year's been a roller coaster. Life and death and sickness and graduations and new beginnings. Life is life. But as you grow, you become stronger, more prepared, more equipped to deal with whatever comes. Whole, complete, lacking nothing. D-Rob said I should be transitioning to a new state by then. I like it. I like it. Boy, I'm proud of you, D-Rob. I'm telling you, man, I'm proud of you. But yeah, man, that's what it is. That's why you keep holding on. It's all coming together, even if you can't see it. It's coming together. It's coming together. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. And don't forget to share this video with anyone that can use that you think could use a little more than motivation. Till next time, have an amazing day. Keep striving for greatness. It's a weekend, self-care. Relax if you can, but be at peace with yourself and trust the process. All right, guys, we'll see you in the summer. Peace.